Hello there, my name is Lou Wieland. I publish the official relocation guides that are distributed by Realtors to home buyers and businesses moving to the area. And I've been publishing these for almost 30 years now. And they are distributed by the First Multiple Listing Service, the Cobb Association of Realtors, the North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce, and other organizations. They are on the First Multiple Listing Service website. They are on the Cobb Association of Realtors website. They're all about Atlanta, and they're designed to help real estate agents acquaint businesses and home buyers with the area. They're very comprehensive magazines and map guides that provide valuable information, and they are available at the Realtor stores, FMLS stores, at the Cobb Association of Realtors, and most real estate offices throughout the metro area. And I'm also a commercial realtor with KW Commercial, focusing on multifamily and land. And if I can help you with any of your real estate needs, my email is lou@communityprofiles.net. And the real estate market is very interesting, to say the least, at this time. And the prices for detached homes is up. Sales price through this April is up 17%, in spite of interest rates that are moving up and the economy that's crazy. And to help us really understand this, we've got a great guest on the show today. He's Mike Faulkner. He's the CEO of the Cobb Association of Realtors. Welcome to the show, Mike, and glad to have you on the program today.
Thank you, Lou. I appreciate that.
He's been one of the great professional people in the business, 37 years. Career in real estate and commercial realtor, broker, developer, banker, mortgage banker. He served in leadership roles at local, state, national realtor associations, as well as numerous charitable, government, and business boards and organizations. So if he can't help us, nobody can. So Mike, great to have you on, and you're fairly new to the position of Chief Executive Officer of the Cobb Association of Realtors. How does it feel to come in at this time? And what are you hanging in there with this crazy turbulence? I know you're doing all kinds of things over there, including teaching students and recruiting and helping to understand the market. How do you explain everything that's going on now? And interest rates are higher, prices are higher. It's an interesting dynamic, as we talked the other day. And what does it look like going forward?
It is, I guess the best way to put it is fun. It is a roller coaster ride. It is demanding at this time. And on the market side of it, with all the realtors that we have at the Cobb Association of Realtors, they are constantly talking about how they will get a listing. As soon as they put it on, they receive 10, 12, maybe 20 offers within an hour. So this is a market nobody has really ever experienced, and how to work that. Everybody looking at the realtors would say that, well, that is a great thing to have all those offers. And yes, it is, but it is also very demanding on the agents to be able to sort through all of those offers, make a proper recommendation to the seller, and then trying to weed through them. And then there's going to quite often a bidding war even over and above that. So that agent will be sending out a request for highest and best offers from all of the people that have submitted an offer. On the other side of the coin, the agents that have buyers that are ready and willing to go, they are getting very frustrated because they're submitting all these offers on all these different properties, and not able to get a property under contract. Or had one just last week, one of the members of the leadership team was talking that she had listed the property, put it all out, all the marketing, and within an hour had 10 contracts, and within 2 hours it was under contract, $100,000 over the list price. And that is a phenomenon that I've never seen in the 37 years that I've been in this market. I was, like you, a commercial broker before coming on the management side of the Realtor Association. And prior to doing that, I've never had to experience where I had buyers or tenants and nowhere to put them because of the cost of the commercial properties. The rents have gone up, but not enough to cover the cost of building a building. And then I have clients that want to expand their business because everybody's businesses have been expanding, but then there's nowhere for them to go. And on the light commercial side, if you're out there in a 1 million square foot building, there's a lot of that out there available, but it goes very quick also. You had referenced that home prices are up 17%, and that's right on the money of where it's at. So in Cobb County alone, the average sales price right now is $474,828. And from, I guess, 2, maybe 3 years ago, that's up probably 30% over from what it was. So if you're selling, it's a great thing until you sell, and then you have nowhere to go because you can't get out there and find another house and get it under contract. I think a lot of the phenomenon here is being caused by Georgia is the number one business in the number one state in the country to do business in. We've been ranked that for 8 or 9 years in a row. And so a lot of these companies are moving here, and they're bringing people from other parts of the country because Atlanta and Georgia is a great place to live. It's a great place to work. When you have a lot of the West Coast corporations that are coming here, they are, take Microsoft. They're going to have 3,000 people that are being moved into West Atlanta. You've got Norfolk Southern, you've got Google, and they all add up to a tremendous amount of new jobs coming in. They all have to live somewhere. They're coming from other areas that are very high priced. So when they sell their houses there, they're able to come here all cash and make those offers, sometimes sight unseen. And it's creating a real problem. It's a good problem if you're selling, but it's a real problem if you're trying to buy.
The problem that we have as real estate agents is pricing a listing. To me, it's a little embarrassing when you put a house on the market for $400 and it sells for $500. That to me how does that reflect on the agent, or does it?
Well, the agents, and they've got numerous tools available to them. They are going off of very recent historical data. So they're using comparable sales that in the area that have sold in the last 4 to 5 months to determine the value of that house. And I would say they are accurately pricing it. And as soon as you get a house that sells for $100,000 over the list price, now that is the comp for the next 3 or 4 months. So it's constantly moving up, and it's very difficult. I guess my biggest sympathy goes to the appraisers because it's moving so fast right now that you've got a house that sold for maybe 2 years ago at say $275,000, and now it's $500,000, or a $500,000 house 2 years ago is now $800,000. It's the same house, but the market is driving that. And the agents are doing a very good job in their pricing, but you can't control the dynamics that are hitting here. The other factor that is driving a lot of this pricing is You've got a lot of um, institution money that is coming in from real estate investment trust or hedge funds that are coming in and buying properties that they are using as rentals. A lot of them are on the very high end because people that are moving here, they don't really know the area, so they may wish to rent for a while, and the rents are out of sight right now. So, three bedroom, 2 bath home in Cobb County that may have rented for $1,500 a month 2 years ago is now $4,000 a month, and they go that quick, and that amazes me. But it's so that institutional investor coming in is driving up prices as well as all the people that are moving here. Right now in Cobb County, there are 543 listings on the last record that I had. So active listings, and they're going under contract like that. So tomorrow there may be quite a bit less. So we also have an inventory problem. So it's a supply and demand. We've got the demand. The supply is not keeping up with that demand. And then from a realtor standpoint, you got 543 listings. In the Cobb Association of Realtors alone, we have 2,300 realtor members. So that doesn't include all the non-realtor licensees operating in the area or realtors from that may be at other boards that sell in Cobb County. So let's say you have a pool probably of 10,000 licensees operating in Cobb County, basically squabbling over 543 listings. So it's a tough market a little bit because you're not going to get many listings. You better have the buyers to be able to deliver the goods. We have an inventory problem all over Atlanta. It is a severe problem.
Is there any hope for the future? What does it look like? What's the forecast?
Well, I think it's getting exasperated if interest rates go up. The inflation problem is going to reverberate through real estate. I don't think it's going to slow down real estate whatsoever, at least here in Georgia. It may in other parts of the country, but you eliminate a lot of people being able to buy. So that affordability index goes way down if interest rates go up, and coupled with house pricing going up, and the pricing is going to continue going up if you're trying to add new inventory because the cost of construction is going up along with everything. So if you've got inflation at 8.5%, I'm sure you have seen what diesel prices are, $6 a gallon. And so diesel is what drives the trucks that delivers that wood or delivers the materials that goes into a window or into an air conditioner that's got to be manufactured. So all that gets pushed right down to the builder and into that sales price to the consumer. And then you add in a little bit higher interest rate. So now your affordability has gotten compromised, but you still don't have enough inventory, and you still have too much demand coming in. So I don't see that prices are going to abate. I think it may slow down a little bit. But again, you take all of those factors and then you couple in that we're the number one state in the country to do business, and we have companies continually wanting to move here, which is a great thing. But we've got a problem that I've never seen. I don't know if you've ever seen that in this market before, where you've got all these buyers, nowhere to put them, or in commercial, you got all these tenants or buyers, nowhere to put them. It's interesting. If we could take all the buyers that we have now and move them back 3 or 4 years, it would have been great because we had a lot of inventory then. I think to fix it is builders, and I'm sure they're starting to get a little afraid, but builders have got to get out there and build houses and continually create more inventory in Metro Atlanta. Otherwise, it's going to hurt. It's going to keep driving the prices up and driving some people out from being able to move.
What's holding them back anyway, Michael? Why aren't they doing that?
Well, having been a banker and a mortgage banker before, and that was way back when interest rates, I started in that market when interest rates were 18 and 19%, and I was still doing a lot of loans. But as soon as inflation starts to tick up, banks start retreating a little bit because they expect the Federal Reserve traditionally to raise interest rates to try to tame the inflation, albeit that raising of interest rates actually creates some inflation over the short term. And when I say short term, a year or two time period, but it will eventually choke off the economy a little bit and choke off some of the demand. I don't think with all the companies that are coming to Georgia that demand is going to abate here. It's going to abate elsewhere. The Northeast, out west, where people are moving from and coming to the Southeast. Those other areas are probably going to exasperate their markets as far as low inventory, but then everybody's moving, trying to sell. So you're going to see house prices and other prices fall in those areas, but it's going to continue to go up here.
Let's backtrack for a minute and just talk a little bit about the function of the Cobb Association of Realtors, and what are your goals? What are your how do you contribute to the industry?
Well, as I said, we've got about 2,300 members spread all across the county. A lot of them are from other areas but they operate in Cobb County. The boards of realtors are basically a trade association. So we exist to serve our members, but we go way beyond that. Our primary driver is we are the only defender of private property rights out there. So when we do a lot of political advocacy also, locally at state capitol and through the National Association at Congress. The number one thing we do is protect and defend private property rights. And so that helps us in the long run, but we're not doing it on behalf of the realtors. We defend everybody's right to own real estate, to lease real estate, to use their property as they choose. So a lot of times we have to head off onerous regulations, or we have to, I'll grab a piece of paper, pardon me here. We have to help keep governments from getting a little ahead of themselves, sometimes even local governments in conflict with state law. The other thing that we, I'll tell you what, let me back up a little bit and I'm going to tell you what our mission statement is. It is to advance the rights of property owners, the prosperity of our community, the integrity of our profession, and the success of our members. So if I break that down, I already spoke about defending private property rights. The prosperity of our community. Our members cannot be successful if Cobb County is not prosperous. So if we are not bringing in new companies into Cobb County, or companies that pay very well, then the success of our members will decline a little bit. And that may be financial success, or it may be just success being able to provide a great experience for our clients. The next part, the integrity of our profession. Being a realtor versus being a licensee is a little bit higher bar. So we subscribe, as you well know, to NAR's Code of Ethics, and it is a high bar of a code of ethics. And that sets us apart from others. Not saying other people are not unethical, but we subscribe to it, we live by it, we promote it, and that makes a difference to buyers and sellers out there. And then to the success of our members. Now that can be financial success, or yesterday I was teaching our new member orientation to brand new agents, and I always ask them, why did you get your real estate license? And I hear things like flexibility of schedule to make more money. And about three of them all said, because I want to help people get into homes. And that is significant. So part of that success is to take all the little successes and turn it into significance. So one lady said, while she got into real estate, is she had a very bad experience with a non-realtor in buying a house. And she wanted to become a real estate or a realtor so that her clients would get a great experience. And to me, that's the difference between being just successful and being significant in our industry, is how do we help everybody else? So that is what the Cobb Association of Realtors stand for. In addition to us being a trade association, we do a lot of charitable events, which goes to that prosperity of our community. Just 2 weeks ago, we I think we had about 22 people went to assist Habitat for Humanity all day long on Saturday, building a habitat house. We support different charitable organizations around the county. The Cobb Youth, they've changed the name of it, Youth and Growth Center, but about 10 different charities that we support out of where members either raise money or we use some of our dues to support those organizations. We also are involved with the chamber, just a myriad of organizations that intersect with our members, and that is promoting our community.
So, Michael, shifting back to the business, we have not really talked too much about the commercial end of the business, and I know you were a commercial broker for a long time. What do you see there, and what does it look like in terms of retail versus warehouse versus multifamily or hotel, industrial? Certain segments are doing better than others, and how does that impact our economy, the various areas of commercial real estate?
Well, here in Atlanta, number one, we're a transportation hub. So we're going to have a tremendous amount, and you see it everywhere, of very large industrial, mainly on the logistics side of truck traffic, bringing goods in, moving them out. So like a big Google warehouse or any company that's out there, Atlanta is a great hub for that. So on the large industrial, Atlanta right now is one of the kings in the whole country. You couple with, we've got either the number one or number two port system in the country, and it's all got to typically come through Atlanta. And then we've got up in northwest Georgia, and then one north of Commerce, and then the other one down near Columbus, the inland ports. So all that comes to those inland, out of the ports of Savannah or Brunswick, comes to those inland ports, then it's got to get distributed out. So the large industrial commercial is doing very well. The light commercial, they're 100% filled up pretty much around Atlanta. And the reason being is you can't afford to build a 10, 12,000, 15,000 square foot building. You can't get enough rents out of it to justify the cost of the building. The steel is out of sight. In fact, you can only get a 10-day price on steel framing right now anyhow, so you can't even give a client a price how much it'll cost to build a building. So there you got a lot of demand and nowhere to put them. On the retail, with COVID, I thought we were going to go through a retail death march, and it started to do that. And you saw a lot of places closed up, went vacant. Then the banks are starting to step in, looking at foreclosure. But with here in Georgia, keeping a lot of businesses as essential businesses, staying open during COVID, I think arrested that decline on the retail side, and to the point that after the first 6 or 8 months when COVID started, all of a sudden you started seeing new retail being built, even though some of the smaller tenants were falling by the wayside because they may have been shut down because they were not in essential business. So I don't care where you go in metro Atlanta, you're seeing new retail being built. You're seeing new hotels being built. And the resiliency that we have here in metro Atlanta compared to other cities, and certainly there's other just as dynamic cities, but just from the traveling I've done, I've seen other cities seem to be falling off of the vine right now, where Atlanta is prospering and moving forward. You know, I go down to Savannah or just kind of west of Savannah, you got Pooler. They cannot build things down there fast enough. And now down there, you've got the new Kia Hyundai electric plant going to go in, and there'll be another 3,000 jobs there. You've got here northwest of Atlanta, you got the big Rivian plant. Here in Cobb County, we've got moving there to Truist Park. You've got what was formerly the American Express Robinson Humphrey Financial, which is now part of Truist Bank. They're bringing in all those operations from Atlanta, from Charlotte, and they're moving the headquarters of Truist Financial to Truist Park. So, you know, that's probably 1,000 jobs coming to Cobb County. You got I may not get the initials right, but TKD or whatever elevator company moved their headquarters there to Truist Park. As those are coming in, then that creates more demand at retail, which creates more demand on the large industrial for the logistics to get the products to those retail facilities. So, you know, short of inflation just going way out of sight and interest rates going way out of sight, I do not see that Atlanta is going to fall off much. You're going to have certain areas that may. Cobb County is going to continue to prosper. You know, we've talked a lot about when I was the president of Georgia Association of Realtors in 2018. We created an economic development committee to work with the state to help bring large companies to Georgia. And there was a lot of talk about there being two Georgias. We got Metro Atlanta, you know, with 8.5 million people, and we've got the rest of Georgia that's, you know, been slow to grow, but with some of these companies that are coming in, putting large manufacturing plants in, I don't think those areas are going to not grow. They're going to, I think you're going to see a rebirth of the other part of Georgia. And that's coming on strong. And a lot of it has to do with just Georgia's the number one state to do business in.
We don't have a whole lot more time here, Michael, and I know you have other meetings, but
Yes, sir.
the two things that are critical to my line of work is multifamily and land. And rent is going up like crazy, and also the price of land is going up like crazy. I work with a lot of investors, and what do you see? Are you seeing a lot of apartment buildings? I know Roswell has said no more apartment buildings in Roswell, a moratorium on construction. What about Cobb County?
The market is there to absorb it. Part of the problem that I'm hearing and even experiencing with one of our new employees at Cobb Association of Realtors is that the rents are so high in Cobb County. The newer apartments, let's say up around Barrett Parkway that are up there in Kennesaw, you know, 1-bedroom apartments are $2,000 a month. Well, you start looking at somebody's pay scale and their take-home pay, and all of a sudden now you're eating up just in rent more than half of what their take-home pay is, and that is a problem, and that is a problem for employers. So you're going to see some wage inflation just to be able to keep employees or attract employees. Since we have a lack of supply of townhomes and single family residences, the people that are moving here, they've got to go somewhere. So they're going to probably go into apartments, which is going to keep feeding that price up. Apartments are from a county or municipality are, kind of a little double-edged sword. But at these rent levels, I think it takes away the argument that people that are moving into apartments are not the same class of people or whatever, or employees that may be buying single family homes. Because a lot of times those apartment rents are higher than what it is to actually buy a home and make a payment right now. But when there's no homes to buy, it takes us to the apartments. I do believe the apartments are going to continue to be built, and necessarily, when Metro Atlanta is adding 100 to 150,000 workers moving in each year, they've got to live somewhere, and you can't build the houses fast enough. The land prices on the houses are going up. The construction cost of houses are going up. So that takes us to apartments.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. I know you have another meeting, and I appreciate
Yes,
your
sir.
generous contribution of your time to be on the show. And congratulations in your new position there as CEO of the Cobb Association. I know you'll be a great value to us as agents and to home buyers and sellers as well. So thank you very much again for being on the show.
You're so welcome, and it's been an honor to be on your show, Lou. Thank you.
Michael, and thank you very much for listening. Again, if I can help you with anything on real estate, my email is lou, L-O-U, at Wieland, WIELAND.com. Thank you very much for listening, and have a nice day.